Okay, so I warned you guys enough before we started this problem that I think you wouldn't have added plus 2 pi k, but I get why kids do, because they see this saying, find all solutions, and they think plus 2 pi k. But it's between 0 and 2 pi. So you draw this, and that goes from 0 all the way to 2 pi, which is in the same spot as 0. And then you got to figure out where sine is positive. So A, S, T, C, and sine is positive in the top two. And then cosine has to be negative. That means it can't be here, because all of them would be positive there. So then it leaves me only this spot to draw it. And then sine is opposite over hypotenuse, 1, 5. And then this must be, you'll always need this last side. Square root of, 5 squared is 25, 1 squared is 1. And am I on the longest side? No. So I would do minus. So that's square root of 24. Now, square root of 24 does simplify. And if you didn't simplify it, it is almost a lock that I have to mark it wrong, because the only thing I said you didn't have to simplify was things like 4 pi over 4 when you're in circle trig. Okay? So this should be simplified. Square root of 4 times square root of 6, that's 2 root 6. Did anybody remember to get it down to 2 root 6? All right, a lot of people forgot that. All right, then what's the final answer? Well, this side here is 2 root 6, and I need tangent. So that's TOA. So it's opposite over adjacent, so it's 1 over 2 root 6. And there is your final answer. That involved a lot of trig. Yes?
Wouldn't it be negative?
Oh, you caught me with the most common mistake in circle trig. Dang, nice job. That is negative 2 root 6. Good catch. And you know kids did that too, and I just forgot to even think about it. So many things to remember, really. I tried to talk you through all of them. Like you had to remember to not put plus 2 pi k. You had to remember where is cosine and stuff positive. It's so many things to remember in circle trig. That's negative. All right. Good job. So, what else? I had planned a few last tips. Here's another one. Let's say you had to graph sine of theta over 4. If I'd have just said graph sine, I hope you'd have been able to do it. So start with that. Just start with regular sine. And then do you remember what to do when there's a b term in there? Well, here's sine. Goes up to 1, down to negative 1, ends at 2 pi. That's pi over 2, 3 pi over 2. That should be like the back of your hand. No big deal, easy peasy. But then, here's what I think messes with people's heads. They don't think of this as 1/4 theta. That is 1/4 theta. So the b term is 1/4. Another way to think of it is, you have to do a horizontal something to this. So I like to have kids memorize that period is 2 pi over b. So our period was 2 pi here, but we should divide by the b term. If I divide by 1/4, that's like timesing by 4. So I go through and times everything by 4. Again, my b term was 1/4. You got to be able to, quick in your head, know that that means multiply by 4. So now, times 4 here, and times 4 everywhere. And this is now my new graph. I should simplify this down. 4 pi over 2 is 2 pi. 4 pi. 6 pi. And 8 pi. So that was sine. Do you get cosecant would just be one step further than this? If I had said cosecant, if I had said what is cosecant? Not not cosine, cosecant, CSC of 1/4 theta. That would just be one more thing. You would have graphed it just like I just did. And then discuss with the kid next to you. What do you have to do now? On this graph, what do you have to do now? Talk to the kid next to you. I won't make you talk much more.
We have to actually graph this.
Oh, that's right.
Like just on top of the sun. Yeah.
So the asymptotes go here and here and here, and then it rides on the back of the sister function like that. Do-do-do. There you go. Okay, cool. So that's a reminder of how to stretch things horizontally in a graph. And then one we did yesterday, but it's definitely on the test, and it was not easy for you guys yesterday, was inverse trig. Let's do one last inverse trig, and we'll make it a nested one. Again, I'm picking out the toughest things on the final here. These are our 3-level, well, I don't know. It's either really hard R2 or R3 level. Because you have to know how to do 2 kinds of trig. Regular trig and then inverse trig. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, did you start with cosine of 2 pi over 3 and go, where the heck is 2 pi over 3? 1 pi over 3, 2 pi over 3. That leaves a 60-degree angle left here, and it's a triangle, and that's a 30, and that's a 90. And then, I know this one, 30 is equal to 90. 1, 2, square root of 3, and this side's negative. All right, I feel like I've drawn that well. Now, I am supposed to do inverse sine of that. All right. So, what is cosine of 2 pi over 3? I got to get that answer. Cosine of 2 pi over 3. All I've done is draw a triangle. I haven't actually got the answer yet. What is the cosine of it? Hello, what's cosine?
-1.
All right, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse of -1 over 2. Good. Now, the danger is everybody's naturally wants to get done as fast as possible. That's a good instinct, so you can move on to other things, right? But you want to use this triangle for this problem. Does inverse sine exist right there? No. So you can't use this triangle and just do sine of it. Okay, won't work. We have to go, now we have a new problem. The answer for the first part was this. Our new problem is inverse sine of -1/2. And then you ask yourself, where does inverse sine even exist? Only here to here. So these are out. And this one, my negative kind of got lost there, but here, I'll make it really clear. The negative is there. Okay, so it's negative, so it can't be here either. So then it must be here. So many things to remember in circle trig. You got to get like 10 things, 10 little tests in a row. Okay, so now I got to draw my triangle for that. So sine is opposite and hypotenuse, and one of them has to be negative, and the hypotenuse can't be negative, so it must be that. And then it's supposed to be square root of 3. And then I look and see, did I miss any negatives? The most common mistake in circle trig. And then what's across from the 1? It's a 30, and I say 30, and I'm wrong twice. I'm getting close, because I want an answer. But it can't say 30 because it's not in radians. So then it's pi over 6, and then I'm wrong again. And I get how you might think it's a whole bunch of pi over 6s because you want to go like this, but you would go through the dead zone. You can't do that. So do you remember that we're in the negative zone down here? Did anybody remember to give the answer as a negative angle? Awesome. Because it's negative pi over 6. See how that happened? Sine is opposite of hypotenuse, so I had the sides in the right spots. And across from the 1 is a 30 degrees. That's all true. But you're in the negative zone here. You can't give the answer as a whole bunch of pi over 6s. It's just -1 pi over 6. You're in the negative zone. Holy cow. That's tricky. But hey, you signed up for precalc. Now you get to take the precalc final. All right. And that's all the tips I have for you. I think that's a really hard one. If you want, you want to ask me questions on things like that, there's something like that in the packet near the end. If you want to ask me, I'll be sitting up here and I'm willing to help you. Tomorrow morning, I have a 2-hour help period, and then your final just follows it right away. It would be the perfect time, if you wanted to come in and get some help, get here like, I don't know, half an hour before the test, so you can ask me anything you want, right before they take it, okay? And if you wanna take a missing test or a top 20 again, that's another time you can do that. And I think isn't there another help time like that on Thursday? Okay, I think there is. I think Thursday has another, can anybody verify that?
I thought it was 2 early releases and then just 1 late start.
Double check, somebody look at the schedule for Thursday, but, for sure tomorrow morning, you can come in and get some help.
No, there's no.
There is no extra help on
There's
Thursday?
help at the end of the day on Thursday.
End of the day Thursday. Interesting.
Can we still
Okay.
go in the morning?
Anytime that says that, the schedule says you have extra help, you can have extra help. But, yes.
But are you still gonna be here before school on Thursday for your morning help or not?
Thursday's that's a valid question. You mean before 7, right? No, 7 to 8?
Yeah.
Yes. I've told you guys forever that I will always be available for Thursday mornings. I'll be here Thursday morning. Okay, so if you want extra help Thursday morning before the schedule starts, 7 to 8, yep, you can get help then. Okay, that's all I got for you for today.